Okay, here's another troubling case of corporate fraud embezzlement where a bookkeeper at a company, a relatively small company, stole over $1 million from their employer over the course of 3 or 4 years. And there's a lot of takeaways from this. Not only the fact that the person stole money and they could have been caught earlier, but what are the ripple effects of this? What effects does it have on the employees, other employees of that company, the vendors, the community? So $1.3 million is a lot of money. It happened from 2019 and 2023. So let's call it 4 years. So on average, that's about $300,000 per year. Let's say $25,000, $30,000 a month on average. And this was a electric company, Paul Patrick Electric. The fact that it's named Paul Patrick means that it's probably like a mom and pop type company. It's probably not a big corporate enterprise. A company like that may do, $4 or $5 million a year in revenue. Companies of that size usually have about a 20% profit margin. So if you do, let's say, $4 million a year and you have a profit margin of 20%, that means you have $1 million a year profit. If this person stole $300,000 a year, they stole 30% of that company's profit. What does that mean for the company? It's less money to hire new employees. It's less money to give raises to existing employees. It's less money to do marketing, advertising. This company may have been able to grow faster had they had that extra money. Think about if you're a company and, $1 million a year profit sounds like a lot of money, and it is, right? It's not, middle class, it's upper middle class. However, you will be back in your video in just a few seconds. In the meantime, remember that actualhuman.com offers you live one-on-one private video consultation with an expert in this exact subject. We want to listen to your story. We want to hear your questions. We want to give you expert advisement of your options and tell you what we know about your particular situation. Now back to your video. If you had that extra $300,000 a year, what could you do with it? You could hire three $60,000 as employees, and that not only spend half of it, you could spend another maybe $60,000 or $70,000 on more marketing and advertising, and then maybe another $60,000 on new equipment, facilities, upgraded trucks, and still have $40,000 or $50,000 left over to put in the bank for cash. So that $300,000 represents a huge opportunity cost for that business and also the community. Companies like this typically donate to, their local high school, to their local sports teams. They sponsor things, and having that money disappear could have more of an invisible effect on the community. That's why it's important to catch these early. This was the company's bookkeeper, had access to the finances. Look, you need to have people accessing your finances if you're a small company. But what you want to do is have that access be monitored. So you want to have more than one person access the finances so somebody else could see what's happening. You want to make sure that bookkeepers take vacations. You want to make sure the mail goes to somebody other than who's doing the books. A lot of simple best practices. We see these fraud cases all the time. In almost every single case, there was something that could have been done to catch it earlier. And I know hindsight's 20/20. I'm not saying put the blame on the business, but I'm just trying to put a warning out there for companies to use best practices. Even if you trust a person, understanding the fraud triangle means that sometimes people that you trust can still be in a position to have to steal money. If you have other questions, you can contact the link below for more deep conversations with one of our investigators or information about investigative services. If you found this video helpful, be sure to click on other videos on our channel to see if there's further information that could give you more insight into resolving your particular situation.